When was the last time you caught yourself saying, "I'm tired, I can't catch a break"? Or perhaps the most dangerous one of all, "I'll never be rich"? We've all been there. These seemingly innocent statements are actually invisible chains binding your mind and commanding failure to appear in your financial life. Has this ever happened to you? You wake up already feeling defeated about money before you've even had your first cup of coffee? Have you ever noticed how the wealthiest people in the world seem to start their day differently? What if I told you that the words you whisper to yourself in those first precious moments after opening your eyes could be the difference between financial struggle and abundance? You see, your morning thoughts are secretly programming your day's financial outcomes before the sun even rises. It's a hidden pattern Florence Scovel Shinn discovered decades ago that still holds true today. The words you speak to yourself become the architecture of your financial reality. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. What most people don't realize is that those quiet thoughts, when repeated day after day, aren't just fleeting emotions. They're seeds being planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. And here's the fascinating part. Your subconscious doesn't care what kind of seeds you plant. It doesn't distinguish between wealth-creating thoughts and poverty-inducing ones. It only knows how to grow whatever you consistently feed it through your morning declarations. Stay with me until the end of this video, because what you're about to discover might surprise you, even shock you. The wealthiest, most financially successful people in the world. Understand that morning thoughts aren't casual or random. They're deliberate instructions to the universe about what you expect your bank account to look like. Think of your mind as a garden where financial abundance can either flourish or wither. Every morning, you're either commanding infinite intelligence to bring you wealth or feeding the devil of financial doubt. And your subconscious, that powerful but neutral force, simply takes your instructions and makes them your reality. What if I told you that by changing just a few sentences you speak to yourself each morning, you could reprogram your financial destiny? What if the difference between your current financial situation and the abundance you desire is simply the words you choose in those first waking moments? The transformation begins with understanding that your quiet thoughts, when repeated with conviction, become your truth. And when those thoughts focus on abundance rather than lack, on possibility rather than limitation, on wealth rather than scarcity, the transformation is nothing short of miraculous. This hidden truth has been sitting right in front of us all along, quietly shaping our financial journey without our conscious awareness. If these financial principles have sparked something within you, hit that subscribe button to join our community of abundance-minded individuals. I'm dedicated to sharing more of these transformative insights that can revolutionize your relationship with wealth. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic because what's actually happening each morning is far more profound than most people realize. Every single day when you wake up, you're engaged in a powerful ritual, whether you know it or not. You're programming your destiny. There's no neutral ground here. You're either commanding infinite intelligence to bring wealth flowing into your life, or you're inadvertently feeding what Florence Scovel Shinn called the devil of financial doubt. It's a startling revelation when you first grasp it. Those words you speak silently to yourself aren't just fleeting thoughts. They're literally becoming the architecture of your financial reality. They're building the framework upon which your entire day's monetary experiences will unfold. And here's where most people experience their biggest breakthrough on this wealth creation journey. Understanding the fundamental difference between mere affirmations and actual orders to the universe. What, Zom, I'm about to share with you isn't some collection of feel-good statements to repeat mindlessly while looking in the mirror. That approach creates temporary emotional shifts at best. The sentences you'll soon discover are something altogether different. They're mental blueprints that infinite intelligence uses to construct your financial abundance. Think about the distinction for a moment. An affirmation says, "I would like to be wealthy someday." But an order declares, wealth flows to me now, through expected and unexpected channels. One is a wish, the other is a command. Behind the scenes of your conscious awareness, these orders activate entirely different mechanisms in your mind. They tap into what the ancient wisdom traditions called creative substance, that formless energy that takes shape according to our dominant thoughts. The decisions you make in those first waking moments quite literally set the stage for your financial day. The mindset shift here is substantial. Most people have been taught to politely request prosperity, to hope for it, to work hard, and maybe someday deserve it. But the wealthy have discovered a different approach. They command it with the quiet certainty of someone who already sees themselves as the rightful owner of abundance. This isn't about magical thinking. It's about aligning your thought patterns with the immutable laws of consciousness that govern all manifestation. Just as a blueprint precedes a building, your morning, declarations precede your financial reality. The impact of this single change in your daily routine can completely transform your relationship with money. I remember when I first began implementing this practice. The shift wasn't just external, watching my bank account grow, but internal as well. The constant background anxiety about money began to dissolve, replaced by a strange new feeling: financial peace. If you're resonating with this message, type "I command abundance" in the comments below. I'd love to see who's ready to step into this new relationship with money. Let's consider what's really happening in those precious moments right after you wake up. There's an ancient principle at work, what Florence Scovel Shinn called the law of thought becoming thing. It's a profound revelation that shapes our financial reality more powerfully than most people ever realize. Every morning as your eyes open, you're speaking your financial destiny into motion. That first internal dialogue, those initial thoughts that float through your mind, they aren't just passive observations. They're active architects designing the wealth, or lack of it, that follows you throughout your day. The discovery that's transformed so many lives is understanding that whether these words are muttered in faith or whispered in fear, your mind records them equally as orders to be fulfilled. Think about the blueprint of your day being drawn in those first conscious moments. Your mindset in that vulnerable time creates ripples that extend far beyond your bedroom walls. Behind the scenes of your awareness, a powerful mechanism is already at work, translating those thoughts into the currency of your day-to-day experience. What's truly fascinating is how we were given dominion over our financial world through the power of our word. Yet most people use this incredible gift backward. They speak of financial defeat and proudly call it being honest with themselves. They confess limitation and label it just being realistic. They describe financial struggles and call it keeping their feet on the ground. But here's the hidden truth. Every careless sentence about money becomes a decree to your subconscious. Every casual complaint about bills becomes an instruction. Every offhand comment about never having enough becomes a command that your faithful mental servant rushes to fulfill. The journey toward financial abundance begins with this awareness that your word creates your world. The decisions you make about how you'll speak to yourself about money, especially in those early morning moments, ripple outward and create your financial reality with surprising precision. I've witnessed remarkable transformations when people simply become conscious of this process. A client once told me she had spent years waking up and immediately thinking about her mounting debt. The moment she disciplined herself to replace that thought with, "Money flows to me easily today," her entire financial landscape began to shift. It wasn't magic. It was simply aligning herself with this fundamental law of consciousness. The revelation that changed my own relationship with wealth was recognizing that we don't need to beg the universe for abundance. We already have the authority to speak it into being. This shift in perspective is like discovering you've been holding the master key all along. If you're experiencing that light bulb moment right now, type "I hold the key" in the comments below. Now let's uncover one of the most powerful revelations in this entire journey toward financial abundance: understanding the true nature of your subconscious mind. This is where the real transformation happens, where the seeds of wealth either flourish or wither. Your subconscious operates with an almost mechanical precision that can be startling once you truly grasp it. It doesn't reason with you about your financial goals. It simply obeys. This faithful servant doesn't laugh at your sarcastic remarks about being always broke, nor does it feel pity when you express financial despair. There's no emotional filtering happening behind the scenes. Your subconscious simply takes your speech, every word, thought, and feeling about money, as a literal blueprint, and builds your financial reality brick by brick according to those specifications. This revelation changes everything once you internalize it. The mindset shift required is profound, yet simple. Your subconscious is the most loyal employee you'll ever have, following your instructions to the letter without questioning them. When you say, "I can never get ahead financially," it doesn't argue. It simply manifests circumstances that prove you right. The journey toward financial abundance requires understanding this hidden truth. Your mind is neutral ground, where whatever you plant will grow. It has no preference for wealth or poverty. It simply executes the dominant instructions you provide. What's particularly eye-opening is realizing how most people begin their day as financial failures before even leaving their beds. They wake up immediately murmuring about bills, frustrations, or feeling perpetually behind. In this vulnerable morning state, each complaint becomes what Florence Scovel Shinn called a prayer to the god of poverty. Each sigh about your financial situation is essentially a confession of financial weakness that your subconscious faithfully records and works to validate throughout your day. The decision to change this pattern creates an immediate impact on your financial destiny. Imagine beginning each morning declaring victory over your finances instead of defeat. Picture yourself waking up and immediately affirming your wealth, abundance, and financial strength before your feet even touch the floor. This simple shift reprograms the faithful servant of your subconscious to build prosperity instead of lack. I've witnessed remarkable behind-the-scenes transformations in people who've applied this principle. One person told me they'd spent years waking up instantly worried about money, mentally calculating bills before even getting out of bed. When they disciplined themselves to begin each day declaring, "Money flows to me easily and abundantly," their financial landscape began shifting within weeks. The revelation here isn't just about positive thinking. It's about understanding the mechanical nature of your mind and working with it rather than against it. Your financial reality is being constructed every morning, whether you're conscious of it or not. If this principle is awakening something within you, type, "My subconscious serves me," in the comments. Let me share something that completely revolutionized my understanding of financial abundance. It's what Florence Scovel Shinn described as one of the most powerful principles of prosperity. Thoughts are not abstract concepts, they are tangible things. They have substance, weight, and creative power in your financial life. This revelation transforms how we perceive the connection between our inner world and our bank accounts. Words are quite literally the bridge between thought and financial creation. When you speak about money, whether in casual conversation with friends or in those private moments with yourself, you're not just expressing opinions. You're directing unseen forces that shape your prosperity. The mindset shift required here is profound. The sound you produce when talking about your finances is your thought physically taking form in the world. When you speak with genuine belief about wealth and abundance, you're not just being optimistic. You're activating a creative process that begins rearranging your financial reality behind the scenes. I remember the precise moment this clicked for me. I had been habitually saying, "I can't afford that," whenever I saw something I desired. A mentor pointed out that this declaration wasn't just an observation. It was a command to my subconscious. The journey toward financial freedom began when I started consciously replacing that phrase with, "How can I afford that?" The difference in results was nothing short of miraculous. Now I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring what your mind truly is when it comes to creating financial abundance. Your mind functions as a remarkably fertile field that will grow whatever financial seed you sow within it. This is perhaps the most illuminating discovery on the path to prosperity. Think about a farmer who plants seeds. The soil doesn't judge whether he's planting wheat or weeds. It simply nurtures whatever is placed within it. Your mind operates with this same impartial principle. Whether you plant thoughts of prosperity or lack matters not to this fertile field. It will not question your wisdom or choices. It will simply bring forth in abundance whatever you repeat with genuine feeling. This revelation changes everything about how we approach our financial journey. When you truly internalize that your mind is this neutral but incredibly powerful growing medium, you become much more careful about what you plant there. Every complaint about bills, every worry about not enough, every cynical comment about wealth, these are all seeds being nurtured in the rich soil of your consciousness. The decision to consciously cultivate thoughts of abundance instead creates an immediate impact. The transformation begins the moment you start treating your mind like the precious growing medium it is, carefully selecting only those thoughts that will yield the financial harvest you truly desire. If you're experiencing that aha moment right now about how your mind is actually growing whatever financial seeds you've been planting, type "I am the gardener" in the comments below. One of the most illuminating principles Florence Scovel Shinn revealed about wealth creation is something that contradicts everything we've been taught about how success works. Most people believe you must first see evidence of financial abundance before you can speak of it. But the wealthy operate in precisely the opposite sequence. Successful people consistently speak their financial destiny before there's any visible evidence of it. They declare prosperity while their bank accounts might suggest otherwise. They affirm abundance when circumstances appear limited. This revelation completely transforms your relationship with money once you truly grasp it. Don't miss out on more powerful financial wisdom. Subscribe now to continue this journey toward abundance. Every video I share contains practical principles that can help transform your financial reality. What happens in this process is fascinating. Faith without speech remains stillborn, trapped in the realm of wishful thinking. Yet speech without genuine faith is equally hollow, just empty words without creative power. But when these two forces unite, when you speak with absolute conviction about the wealth that awaits you, they literally command financial creation itself. This partnership between faith and declaration is the hidden catalyst behind virtually every fortune ever built. I witnessed this principle transform someone's life in remarkable ways. A friend was struggling financially, barely making ends meet, when she began disciplining herself to speak of prosperity as though it had already manifested. Each morning, she would declare with absolute certainty, "Money comes to me through multiple channels. I am a magnet for financial abundance." Within months, unexpected opportunities began appearing. A promotion, an inheritance she knew nothing about, a business connection that led to a lucrative side venture. The sequence was clear. She spoke it first, then saw it materialize. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring what Florence Scovel Shinn called the sacred rhythm of morning. This revelation completely shifted my own financial journey once I implemented it consistently. The first hour after waking represents the most fertile seed time of your entire financial day. During this period, your mind exists in a uniquely receptive state. The barrier between conscious and subconscious is thinner, making it the optimal moment to plant powerful thoughts of abundance. What you focus on in those precious minutes quite literally determines what you'll reap by nightfall. This understanding transforms your morning ritual into something sacred, a deliberate practice of financial creation rather than a rushed blur of preparation. When you begin with genuine gratitude for the wealth already in your life and maintain an expectancy of greater abundance to come, the hours that follow must bend to accommodate your prosperity. It's not mystical thinking. It's working with the natural rhythm of your consciousness. The revelation that changed everything for me was realizing that this morning period isn't just important, it's decisive. Those who begin their day reactively, checking emails, scrolling through social media, rushing into problems, Surrender this powerful creative time to outside influences. Those who protect these golden minutes and fill them with declarations of abundance are essentially programming prosperity into their entire day. If you're recognizing the power of those first morning moments for creating financial abundance, type sacred mornings in the comments below. This transformation from financial struggle to abundance hinges on one crucial realization. The person who takes command of their morning ultimately takes command of their financial destiny. There's a profound shift that occurs when you become the deliberate architect of those first waking moments, rather than allowing them to unfold randomly or reactively. Behind the scenes of every wealthy person's life, you'll find this hidden truth. They've mastered the art of ruling their mornings. They understand the power of speaking deliberately in those first moments, thinking with clear financial purpose, and affirming abundance instead of defaulting to thoughts of lack. The revelation that changed my own journey was discovering that this single habit can literally save decades of financial wandering. The decision to become commander of your morning rather than its victim creates an immediate ripple effect through your entire financial landscape. When you consciously direct your focus toward prosperity during this golden hour, you're essentially programming your reticular activating system, that part of your brain that filters what you notice throughout your day. The impact is that you begin seeing opportunities your financially distracted self would have completely missed. I watched a client undergo a remarkable transformation after implementing this practice. For years, he had been starting his days scrolling through news that reinforced financial anxiety. His breakthrough came when he began protecting that sacred time and instead declaring financial victory before engaging with the outside world. Within months, his income doubled, not through magic, but through noticing and acting on opportunities his previously negative mindset had filtered out. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by sharing the specific declaration that Florence Scovel Shinn discovered has unparalleled power in shaping financial destiny. It's remarkably simple, yet contains within it the seed of financial rebirth. This is the best day for my finances. When you rise each morning and declare these words with genuine conviction, something extraordinary happens. You're literally commanding your mind to become a detective, searching for abundance instead of excuses, to focus on prosperity instead of poverty, to expect financial victory instead of financial victimhood. The mindset shift is immediate and profound. What makes this declaration so powerful is that it's not describing what currently exists. It's creating a new financial reality through expectation. It's a statement that bypasses your logical mind, which might argue with all the reasons today won't be financially successful, and speaks directly to your subconscious, which accepts it as instruction to manifest. The journey toward wealth often begins with this seemingly small shift in perspective, from reacting to your financial circumstances to actively creating them through your expectations. When you declare, "This is the best day for my finances," you're essentially putting the universe on notice that you're no longer willing to accept financial mediocrity. If you're ready to claim command of your financial morning starting tomorrow, type, "I declare abundance" in the comments below. There's a powerful element of financial transformation that most people completely overlook, something Florence Scovel Shinn identified as the first movement of financial faith. That element is gratitude. Not the casual kind we express at holidays, but a deep, deliberate gratitude practiced specifically for wealth that hasn't yet materialized in your life. This revelation completely shifted my understanding of abundance. Gratitude isn't just a polite response to receiving something. It's actually a creative force that awakens the sleeping powers of prosperity within you. When you give heartfelt thanks for financial abundance before there's any physical evidence of it, you're making an extraordinary declaration of mastery over time itself. You're essentially telling the universe, "I'm so certain this wealth is already mine that I'm thanking you for it now." The mindset shift required here is profound. Most people wait to feel grateful until after money arrives in their account. But those who understand this hidden principle reverse the sequence entirely. They express sincere gratitude for wealth as if it has already manifested, which creates a magnetic energy that draws that very abundance toward them. I witnessed a remarkable transformation in a business owner who was facing bankruptcy. Despite her circumstances, she began a daily practice of sitting quietly each morning and genuinely thanking the universe for the financial abundance flowing into her life, even though her visible reality showed nothing but mounting debt. Within 6 weeks, a series of unexpected opportunities emerged that not only saved her business, but propelled it to new heights. The sequence was clear. Gratitude preceded the manifestation. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring what happens within your consciousness when you declare, "This is the best day for my finances." This statement operates as a command to your subconscious, and understanding its impact reveals why it has such extraordinary power. When you make this declaration, you're not merely describing your current financial situation. You're actually determining what you shall see throughout your day. Behind the scenes of your awareness, your mind functions as an incredibly loyal servant that obeys your tone and expectations with unwavering dedication. Command it to find lack and limitation, and it will dutifully present you with evidence of financial scarcity all day long. But command it to find abundance, and this faithful servant will begin discovering financial blessings and opportunities that were invisible to you before. The journey toward prosperity accelerates dramatically when you grasp this principle. Your mind is essentially a sophisticated filtering system, and whatever you instruct it to look for becomes visible while everything else fades into the background. The wealthy have discovered that by deliberately commanding their minds to find prosperity, they literally begin seeing a different financial reality than those focused on lack. This isn't positive thinking. It's the practical application of how your perception actually works. The revelation that transformed my own relationship with money was recognizing that my financial reality wasn't happening to me. I was creating it through these subtle but powerful internal commands. If you're beginning to see how your mind has been faithfully showing you exactly what you've been commanding it to find financially, type, "I command prosperity" in the comments below. There's an aspect of financial creation that goes beyond just the words we speak each morning. It extends into the very emotional tone we establish as we begin our day. This invisible force shapes the pattern of your entire financial experience more powerfully than most people ever realize. Each morning's emotional resonance becomes the template for what follows financially. The revelation that transformed my understanding was seeing how people who rise with genuine expectancy of wealth, that bubbling sense of something wonderful is coming today, consistently encounter opportunities that others walk right past. It's as if they're tuned to a different frequency that makes financial possibilities visible to them while remaining invisible to everyone else. Conversely, those who begin their day with the emotional tone of financial complaint, that heavy, resigned feeling of "here we go again, never enough," mysteriously encounter one piece of evidence after another confirming that money truly is scarce. The journey toward abundance requires recognizing that this isn't coincidence. It's cause and effect. I witnessed a dramatic transformation in someone who deliberately shifted their emotional morning tone. For years, they started each day feeling anxious about money, and their financial reality mirrored that anxiety perfectly. Their breakthrough came when they began consciously generating feelings of excited expectation each morning before engaging with the world. Within months, their income doubled, not through magical thinking, but through a fundamental shift in what they could perceive and act upon. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring what Florence Scovel Shinn called the eyes of financial faith. This mindset revelation completely transforms what becomes visible to you in your financial landscape. The eyes of financial faith literally reveal pathways and opportunities that remain completely invisible to those clouded by doubt. Behind the scenes of your conscious awareness, gratitude actually sharpens your perception for spotting financial possibilities while complaint gradually blinds you to the very opportunities that could transform your situation. This perceptual principle operates with remarkable precision. When fear dominates your consciousness, it physically narrows your mind until you can see only limitation and scarcity, like wearing financial blinders that restrict your vision to only the negative aspects of your monetary situation. But when gratitude becomes your dominant state, it gradually widens your vision until abundance seems to fill every horizon. Suddenly, you notice resources, connections, and possibilities that were there all along but remained invisible to your fear-focused mind. The decision to cultivate financial vision through gratitude creates an immediate impact on your prosperity journey. It's not about denying financial challenges. It's about deliberately expanding your perception beyond them to include the abundance that exists simultaneously. If you're recognizing how your own emotional tone each morning has been creating your financial reality, type "My emotions create my wealth" in the comments below. Let's explore what might be the most transformative financial principle of all, the declaration that thoughts are things. I choose powerful financial thoughts. This revelation completely shifts your relationship with money once you truly internalize it. Everything that currently exists in your bank account, every dollar, every debt, every investment, first lived as a thought in your mind. Your current financial world isn't random or accidental. It's literally the residue of yesterday's thinking made manifest. This understanding creates an immediate mindset revolution because it places the power of transformation squarely in your hands. To alter any financial circumstance, you must first alter the pattern of thought that created it. I've seen remarkable shifts in people's prosperity once they grasp this hidden truth. A client who had been stuck in a cycle of barely making ends meet for years had her breakthrough when she realized her financial situation wasn't happening to her. It was flowing from her. She began deliberately choosing powerful thoughts about money, and within months, her entire economic landscape transformed. The journey toward abundance accelerates dramatically when you recognize the direct connection between your thoughts and your bank balance. The wealthy don't just think differently about money. After they have it, they think differently first, which is precisely what creates their wealth. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring what Florence Scovel Shinn called the workshop of financial reality. This concept completely changed my understanding of how prosperity is created. Your mind functions as a sophisticated workshop where the unseen becomes seen, a creative studio where invisible ideas are gradually molded into visible financial reality. Within this mental workspace, your imagination serves as the initial sculptor, shaping the raw substance of wealth into preliminary form. Faith then gives this financial vision its vitality and energy, infusing it with the power to manifest. Finally, persistence hardens these thought forms into tangible financial results that show up in your external world. The revelation that transformed my own relationship with money was recognizing that this workshop operates continuously, whether I'm conscious of it or not. Behind the scenes of my awareness, my dominant thoughts about wealth were being processed through this creative mechanism 24/7, gradually taking shape in my financial experience. Understanding this principle completely shifts your approach to wealth creation. Instead of focusing exclusively on external actions, working harder, saving more, investing differently, you begin attending to the quality of financial blueprints you're creating in this internal workshop. The decision to consciously design powerful thought patterns about money creates an immediate impact on your prosperity journey. If you're beginning to recognize how your own financial thoughts have been creating your current money reality, type "My thoughts create my wealth" in the comments below. There's a profound revelation about your financial thoughts that most people never discover, something that completely transforms how wealth is created in your life. Your thoughts about money aren't just private musings, confined to your mind. They're actually commands being issued directly to what Florence Scovel Shinn called infinite intelligence, that universal creative force that shapes our material reality. This understanding creates an immediate paradigm shift in how you approach your financial thinking. Behind the scenes of your conscious awareness, every thought about money is being registered, processed, and acted upon by forces far greater than most people realize. You literally cannot think thoughts of lack and limitation while simultaneously expecting abundance to flow into your life. The universe doesn't respond to what you wish for. It responds with mathematical precision to the commands you consistently issue through your dominant thoughts. The subconscious mind, that faithful servant of creation, obeys what you repeatedly think about wealth, not what you occasionally intend or hope for. I witnessed a dramatic transformation in someone who had been visualizing wealth while simultaneously thinking, "But this probably won't work for me," dozens of times daily. Their breakthrough came when they realized these contradictory commands were canceling each other out. Once they disciplined themselves to issue only clear, consistent commands of abundance, their financial situation shifted with remarkable speed. The journey toward prosperity accelerates dramatically when you recognize the power of your thoughts as commands rather than mere observations. This revelation places extraordinary responsibility in your hands. You're literally programming the creative forces of the universe through your daily financial thinking. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring what Florence Scovel Shinn described as mental mastery over financial thoughts. This principle completely revolutionized my relationship with money once I began implementing it consistently. You must learn to guard your financial thoughts with the same vigilance a banker guards gold in a vault. This isn't metaphorical. It's a practical approach to wealth creation that the financially successful have always understood. Every fearful thought about money, every envious observation about someone else's wealth, every gossipy conversation about financial struggle, these are all intruders attempting to occupy mental space that should be reserved exclusively for vision, faith, and clear financial purpose. The mindset shift required here is profound. Most people allow any and all thoughts about money to freely enter and circulate in their consciousness. But those who master prosperity understand the necessity of establishing boundaries around their financial thinking. The wealthy have learned to immediately challenge and replace thoughts that contradict their financial vision. This practice of mental mastery begins with a simple but powerful affirmation: I think only thoughts that serve my definite financial purpose. When repeated with conviction each morning, this declaration establishes a powerful filter in your consciousness that begins screening out poverty-inducing thoughts before they can take root. If you're recognizing how your own financial thoughts have been acting as commands to the creative forces in your life, type "I issue abundance commands" in the comments below. Let me reveal one of the most transformative principles Florence Scovel Shinn discovered about creating financial abundance, something that completely shifts how wealth flows into your life. It's captured in this powerful declaration: my desire for wealth is definite, burning, and obeyed. This statement contains within it the catalyst for all financial achievement. All genuine prosperity begins with desire, but not the casual, fleeting wishes most people confuse with true desire. I'm talking about a burning, definite hunger for wealth that literally consumes doubt and hesitation. This revelation completely changed my understanding of why some people seem to magnetize money while others perpetually struggle. Behind the scenes of every financial empire, you'll find this hidden truth: prosperity belongs exclusively to those who know precisely what they want and demand it of life with unwavering certainty. The mindset shift required here is profound. Most people approach wealth creation timidly, as if asking permission from the universe to become prosperous. But those who master abundance approach it with the authority of someone claiming what is rightfully theirs. I witnessed a remarkable transformation in someone who had been financially stuck for years, despite working incredibly hard. Their breakthrough came when they shifted from politely hoping for more money to developing a burning, definite desire for a specific amount of wealth within a specific time frame. The change in their financial trajectory was immediate and dramatic, not because they worked harder, but because their relationship with money fundamentally transformed. Now I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring the critical distinction between merely wishing for money and genuinely wanting it with definite purpose. This revelation creates an immediate impact on your prosperity journey. There's a world of difference between these two approaches to wealth. Those who simply wish for money view prosperity as a distant star, beautiful to contemplate, but seemingly unreachable. They say things like, "Wouldn't it be nice if," or "I hope someday I can." These patterns of thought create exactly the reality they describe: wealth that remains perpetually in the future, never materializing in the present. But those with a burning, definite desire for wealth operate from an entirely different consciousness. They don't wish for prosperity. They claim it as their inheritance. Their wish immediately becomes a demand. Their thought transforms into command. The universe responds very differently to these two approaches. The decision to shift from wishing to commanding creates a complete transformation in your financial reality. The journey toward abundance accelerates dramatically when you make this subtle but powerful shift in how you relate to money. Instead of politely hoping for prosperity, you begin expecting it with the quiet certainty of someone who already sees it as theirs. This isn't arrogance. It's alignment with the laws that govern wealth creation. If you recognize you've been merely wishing for wealth instead of commanding it with burning desire, type "burning desire" activated in the comments below. One of the most illuminating financial principles Florence Scovel Shinn discovered involves the necessity of specificity in your desires for wealth. This revelation completely transforms your relationship with money once you truly grasp it. Desire must be specific to become magnetic. When you say something vague like, "I want to be rich," you're essentially giving your subconscious mind a blurry, out-of-focus photograph to manifest. But when you declare with precision, "I will earn $100,000 by providing specific value that people gladly pay for," you're handing your subconscious a crystal-clear blueprint for creation. Behind the scenes of wealth manifestation, this distinction makes all the difference. The subconscious understands precision and clarity. It doesn't know how to process vague generalities. The mindset shift required here is profound. Most people approach abundance with wishy-washy declarations that lack specificity, then wonder why their financial reality remains equally undefined. I watched a friend undergo a complete financial transformation after implementing this principle. For years, he had been setting loose intentions like, "I want more money," or "I want to be comfortable." His breakthrough came when he began defining exact amounts, time frames, and methods for his prosperity. Within months, his income doubled, not through magic, but through the clarity that allowed him to recognize and act on specific opportunities aligned with his vision. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring a revelation that transforms mere desire into tangible financial results. This hidden truth changed everything in my own prosperity journey once I understood it. Desire without action is nothing but delusion. The person who genuinely burns with financial purpose doesn't just think about wealth. They move immediately toward it. Every fiber of their being strains toward the object of their monetary vision. This internal fire gives them no rest until their financial dream becomes reality. The decision to act immediately upon your financial desires creates an immediate impact on your prosperity. When you feel that burning sensation, that almost uncomfortable urgency to achieve your financial goals, you've activated the true creative force of desire. Mere wishing produces nothing, but this burning imperative generates momentum that overcomes all obstacles. I witnessed a remarkable transformation in someone who had spent years wanting financial freedom while taking minimal action. Their journey shifted dramatically when they connected with a genuine burning desire for wealth that wouldn't let them sleep until they'd taken concrete steps toward it. Within a year, they had built a business generating 6 figures, not because they suddenly became smarter, but because their relationship with action fundamentally changed. The journey toward abundance accelerates dramatically when you understand this principle. Most people mistake mild interest for true desire, but those who master wealth creation know the difference. True financial desire creates a physical sensation, an almost uncomfortable compulsion to act now. It won't let you procrastinate or make excuses. It demands movement, planning, execution. If you recognize the difference between simply wanting money and feeling that burning, action-compelling desire for wealth, type, "I feel the fire" in the comments below. Let me share with you one of Florence Scovel Shinn's most transformative financial principles, a revelation that completely changed my understanding of wealth creation. It's captured in this powerful declaration: I decide quickly and act now on financial opportunities. This statement contains within it the secret that separates the financially abundant from the perpetually struggling. Decision is literally the fulcrum upon which your entire financial destiny turns. A single choice made with absolute conviction can completely transform your monetary direction overnight. The mindset revelation here is profound. Most people agonize over financial decisions, analyzing them to death, seeking endless opinions, and ultimately remaining frozen in indecision. What they don't realize is that this pattern of hesitation has become the breeding ground of their financial failure. Behind the scenes of every financial empire, you'll find this hidden truth. The wealthy don't necessarily make better decisions than others, but they make them faster and stand firmly behind them once made. I watched a friend's entire financial trajectory change when he shifted from overthinking every investment to making clear decisions quickly and acting on them immediately. Within 18 months, his net worth tripled, not because the opportunities were better, but because his relationship with decision-making fundamentally transformed. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring a principle that creates an immediate impact on your financial journey: understanding that opportunity has an extraordinarily short memory. This revelation changed everything in my prosperity path once I truly grasped it. Opportunity doesn't wait patiently while you deliberate, consult friends, or gather more information. It knocks once, sometimes softly, and if you don't answer promptly, it simply turns elsewhere, often to someone who makes decisions more quickly than you do. The transformation begins when you realize that delay is literally to deny yourself the financial reward that's already at your door. I witnessed a remarkable shift in someone who had repeatedly missed financial opportunities because they were still thinking about it or doing more research. Their breakthrough came when they implemented a personal rule: make a clear yes or no decision on every financial opportunity within 24 hours. Within a year, their investment portfolio had grown by 40%, not through extraordinary insight, but through the simple practice of decisive action. The journey toward abundance accelerates dramatically when you understand this principle. The financially successful aren't necessarily smarter or more gifted. They simply decide promptly and move immediately. While others are still contemplating and analyzing, they've already taken action and positioned themselves for the rewards. This isn't about making reckless decisions. It's about recognizing that excessive deliberation often masks fear rather than wisdom. Wealthy people have developed the ability to quickly assess an opportunity, make a clear decision based on their financial goals, and then move forward without the paralyzing second-guessing that keeps most people financially stuck. If you recognize that indecision has been keeping wealth at arm's length in your life, type "I decide quickly" in the comments below. There's a dimension to financial decision-making that most people completely overlook, something Florence Scovel Shinn identified as spiritual financial exercise. This revelation transformed my entire understanding of why some people seem to move through financial opportunities with such confidence, while others remain paralyzed. Each time you postpone taking action on a financial opportunity, you're literally weakening the muscle of faith within you. It's as if there's an invisible spiritual muscle that atrophies with each decision delayed or avoided. Conversely, each time you decide promptly about money and move decisively, you strengthen this essential financial muscle. The mindset shift here is profound. Decision-making isn't just a practical matter. It's actually a spiritual exercise that develops your prosperity consciousness. Behind the scenes of every wealthy person's life, you'll find this hidden truth. They've been consistently exercising this spiritual muscle of decision, often without even realizing they were doing so. The transformation begins when you understand that every financial choice is actually an opportunity to strengthen your spiritual connection to abundance. I witnessed a remarkable shift in someone who had been financially stuck for years. Their breakthrough came when they began viewing each financial decision not as a burden, but as a chance to strengthen their decision-making muscle. They established a practice of making at least one clear financial decision daily, no matter how small. Within months, their ability to recognize and act on larger opportunities had expanded dramatically, not through studying finance, but through consistently exercising their decision muscle. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring a principle that creates immediate liberation in your financial journey. Understanding that action is the only true cure for financial fear. This revelation completely shifted my relationship with money anxiety once I genuinely grasped it. Action cures financial fear. Procrastination feeds it. This isn't motivational rhetoric. It's a psychological and spiritual truth that the wealthy have discovered through experience. The longer you dwell upon a money decision without taking action, the more reasons your imagination invents to justify continued inaction. It's as if the idle mind becomes a factory dedicated to manufacturing justifications for financial paralysis. I've seen this principle transform lives repeatedly. A client who had been paralyzed by fear of investing found complete liberation when they finally made a small, carefully researched investment. Not because the investment itself was life-changing, but because the act of moving through the fear dispelled its power. The journey toward financial freedom often begins with this simple realization that movement itself, even imperfect movement, dissolves the anxiety that keeps most people financially stuck. The revelation that changed my own relationship with wealth was recognizing that the mind left idle around financial decisions inevitably breeds excessive caution, and that caution eventually hardens into complete financial paralysis. When you understand this psychological mechanism, you realize that taking action isn't just practically important. It's the only path to liberation from money anxiety. If you recognize how postponing financial decisions has been weakening your prosperity muscle, type "Action Cures Fear" in the comments below. Let me share one of Florence Scovel Shinn's most profound financial principles, a declaration that has completely transformed countless lives once they've fully embraced it. I persist until I win financial abundance. This statement contains within it the ultimate guarantee of prosperity that so many miss. While most people focus on finding the perfect strategy or seeking some hidden shortcut to wealth, this revelation illuminates the true path to abundance. Persistence absolutely guarantees financial success, in a way that nothing else can. You see, talent may sparkle momentarily and then fade. Connections might open doors temporarily. Even luck might bring a windfall that vanishes just as quickly. But persistence endures until wealth is actually achieved. It is the sustained effort of faith, the daily march of financial determination that eventually wears down all obstacles. Behind the scenes of every financial empire, you'll discover this hidden truth. The wealthy didn't necessarily start with more resources or better ideas than others. They simply refused to quit when everyone else did. I witnessed a remarkable transformation in someone who had failed in 3 different business ventures. Their breakthrough came when they realized their pattern wasn't a sign of inadequacy, but simply insufficient persistence. On their 4th attempt, they vowed to persist regardless of setbacks, and that business now generates over 7 figures annually. The journey toward abundance accelerates dramatically when you internalize this principle. Most people give up just before their breakthrough moment, never realizing how close they actually were to financial transformation. The decision to persist beyond what seems reasonable creates an immediate impact on your prosperity path. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring a principle that completely revolutionizes how you view financial difficulties. This revelation changed everything in my own relationship with money. Once I truly grasped it. The person who persists doesn't just blindly continue. They understand that every financial setback actually conceals a valuable lesson waiting to be discovered. Every monetary disappointment hides a doorway to greater opportunity. Every financial trial is secretly refining their strength and wisdom for the day of prosperity that's coming. I've seen this principle transform lives repeatedly. A client who lost their entire investment in a failed business initially fell into despair. Their transformation began when they started examining what that experience was teaching them, instead of just lamenting it. They discovered crucial insights about partner selection, market timing, and operational efficiency. When they launched their next venture incorporating these lessons, it succeeded beyond their expectations, not despite their previous failure, but because of what they learned from it. This mindset shift is profound, viewing financial setbacks not as punishments or evidence of inadequacy, but as essential training grounds preparing you for greater abundance. It's like the universe is deliberately strengthening your prosperity muscles through resistance, knowing that without this preparation, you couldn't handle the wealth that awaits you. If you're beginning to see how persistence through financial challenges is actually preparing you for greater abundance, type "persistence wins" in the comments below. Let's explore a dimension of persistence that most people completely miss, what Florence Scovel Shinn called faith in financial motion. This revelation completely transforms how you approach the journey toward wealth once you truly grasp it. Persistence isn't just stubbornly continuing. It's actually the practical, tangible expression of your belief in your monetary purpose. It's faith made visible through consistent action. When you persist toward wealth despite setbacks and delays, you're making a powerful declaration to infinite intelligence that you're absolutely serious about your desire for abundance. The mindset transformation here is profound. Your willingness to continue moving forward financially when others quit becomes a spiritual signal that reverberates throughout the universe. Behind the scenes of wealth creation, persistence functions as a form of energetic proof. Anyone can claim they desire prosperity, but only those who persist through challenges demonstrate the authenticity of that desire. I witnessed a remarkable transformation in someone who had been wanting financial freedom for years without making progress. Their breakthrough came when they realized that their sporadic efforts were essentially telling the universe their desire wasn't genuinely important to them. When they committed to daily, consistent action toward their financial goals regardless of immediate results, opportunities began appearing that had previously remained invisible. The journey toward abundance accelerates dramatically when you understand this principle. Most people approach wealth creation with initial enthusiasm that quickly fades when obstacles appear. But those who recognize persistence as faith in motion understand that continuing through difficulties is actually the most powerful demonstration of belief possible. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring a principle that creates an immediate impact on your financial journey. Understanding that true persistence isn't merely blind endurance, but intelligent endurance. This revelation changed everything in my relationship with money once I fully grasped it. Persistence doesn't mean rigidly following a failing approach. The wise person persists by continuously adjusting their plan while never altering their financial purpose. They may modify their methods 1,000 times based on what they're learning, but they never waver in their will to succeed financially. This flexible persistence is the hallmark of those who ultimately achieve remarkable prosperity. I've seen this principle transform lives repeatedly. A friend who struggled for years trying to build wealth through a particular investment approach kept encountering frustrating obstacles. Their transformation began when they realized persistence didn't mean continuing with ineffective methods. It meant continuing toward their financial goal while remaining open to different pathways. They completely shifted their approach while maintaining their ultimate financial purpose, and within 2 years achieved the prosperity that had eluded them for a decade. The revelation that changed my own relationship with wealth was recognizing that intelligent persistence requires balancing unwavering commitment to your financial destination with complete flexibility about the route you take to get there. If you're beginning to see how intelligent persistence toward your financial goals might transform your prosperity journey, type flexibly, persistent in the comments below. Let me share a principle that transformed my entire understanding of wealth creation, something Florence Scovel Shinn described as the invisible force that precedes all financial manifestation. It's captured in this powerful declaration: faith goes before me and opens the way to wealth. This revelation completely shifts how abundance flows into your life once you truly grasp it. Faith operates as the unseen architect of financial miracles. It doesn't just accompany you on your journey toward prosperity. It actually goes ahead of you, preparing the road before your feet ever touch it. Behind the scenes of every fortune ever built, this invisible force was shaping circumstances, arranging key meetings, and guiding seemingly random events that later appeared as financial luck to outside observers. The mindset shift required here is profound. Most people believe they must see evidence of wealth before they can believe in it. But those who master abundance understand that faith is precisely the vision of prosperity when physical eyes see nothing but limitation. I witnessed a remarkable transformation in someone facing complete financial ruin. Their breakthrough came when they began operating from unshakable faith in their financial restoration, despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Within a year, opportunities had materialized that completely transformed their situation, not through wishful thinking, but through the magnetic power of genuine faith. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring the critical distinction between faith and hope when it comes to money. This revelation creates an immediate impact on your prosperity journey once you understand it. Faith is not the same as polite hope or timid wishing for wealth. Hope says, "Someday I might have abundance." Faith declares, "My prosperity is already established in the invisible realm and is now manifesting in my experience." The difference is night and day. Faith represents absolute certainty, an unshakable inner knowing that what you've asked for financially is already granted and in the process of becoming visible. The transformation begins when you realize that hope waits passively for money to appear, while faith acts boldly as if abundance is already yours. Hope looks forward to eventual prosperity. Faith walks confidently in that prosperity now, even before external evidence appears. This distinction completely revolutionizes how you approach wealth creation. I've seen this principle transform lives repeatedly. A friend spent years hoping their financial situation would improve someday while taking minimal action. Their breakthrough began when they shifted to absolute faith, speaking, planning, and acting with the certainty that abundance was already theirs in the invisible realm. This wasn't delusion. It was alignment with the creative principle that shapes all manifestation. Within months, their income had tripled through opportunities that had been invisible to their hoping self, but became obvious to their faithful self. The journey toward abundance accelerates dramatically when you make this subtle but powerful shift from hoping for wealth to having faith in your wealth. If you recognize how you've been hoping rather than having faith in your financial abundance, type "Faith moves mountains" in the comments below. There's a dimension to wealth creation that most people never discover, something Florence Scovel Shinn called the silent power. This revelation completely transforms your financial journey once you truly understand it. Infinite intelligence guides my financial plans today. This declaration acknowledges a profound truth that the wealthy have always understood. There exists a silent power that moves through all things, a living intelligence forever ready to obey your faith. This isn't some mystical concept. It's the practical source of every inspired financial thought you've ever had every perfect money plan that seemed to appear in your mind fully formed, every piece of unseen assistance that guided you toward wealth. The mindset shift required here is profound, recognizing that you're never truly alone in your financial journey. Behind the scenes of every fortune ever built, this invisible intelligence was guiding, suggesting, and illuminating the path forward. I witnessed a remarkable transformation in someone who had been struggling for years to find their financial direction. Their breakthrough came when they stopped trying to figure everything out through sheer mental effort and began consciously partnering with this infinite intelligence through daily declaration and quiet listening. Within months, ideas and opportunities appeared that completely transformed their situation, not through random chance, but through deliberate connection with this guiding force. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring how this guidance actually arrives in your everyday experience. This revelation creates an immediate impact on your prosperity journey once you understand the mechanism. When your mind is calm, your purpose definite, and your faith strong, financial ideas literally arrive as messengers from a higher realm. They don't announce themselves with trumpets. They come quietly as flashes of insight, sudden solutions to problems you've been struggling with, or quiet inner assurances about specific money-making opportunities. The transformation begins when you learn to recognize and trust these subtle communications. I've seen this principle revolutionize lives repeatedly. A friend who had been overthinking a business decision for months found complete clarity during a quiet morning walk, not through analysis, but through a sudden insight that seemed to arrive from nowhere. Another discovered an investment opportunity through what appeared to be a random conversation that solved a problem they hadn't even articulated clearly. These weren't coincidences. They were examples of infinite intelligence guiding financial plans. The journey toward abundance accelerates dramatically when you establish a regular practice of creating space for this guidance. Most people fill every waking moment with noise, information, and distraction, then wonder why they lack financial clarity. Those who master prosperity understand the necessity of quiet receptivity. They create daily periods of stillness, specifically to allow financial inspiration to emerge. If you're recognizing moments when financial guidance has quietly appeared in your life, seemingly out of nowhere, type "guided by intelligence" in the comments below. Let me reveal what might be the most powerful hidden force in your financial life, something Florence Scovel Shinn described as your 24/7 wealth-building partner. It's captured in this profound declaration: "My subconscious works for me day and night on wealth creation." This revelation completely transforms your prosperity journey once you fully understand it. There exists within you a remarkable power that never sleeps, never tires, and never forgets: your subconscious mind. Like a faithful servant, it's continuously working, whether you're conscious of it or not, building your financial destiny according to your dominant thoughts about money. The mindset transformation here is profound, realizing that wealth creation doesn't stop when you stop consciously thinking about it. Behind the scenes of your awareness, this invisible ally is constantly processing, organizing, and acting upon your financial instructions. I witnessed a remarkable shift in someone who had been struggling financially for years. Their breakthrough came when they began deliberately programming their subconscious with positive financial instructions before sleep, that fertile time when the conscious mind relaxes its guard. Within months, they began noticing opportunities and ideas that had been invisible before, not through random chance, but through the subconscious mind's faithful execution of its programming. Now I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring what Florence Scovel Shinn considered the cornerstone of all financial transformation: your wealth identity statement. This final revelation creates an immediate impact on your entire financial journey. The most powerful affirmation you will ever speak is one that you must create for yourself. I am eyes. This statement, when filled with your highest financial truth, becomes the foundation upon which all other prosperity practices rest. It's what Scovel Shinn called the 11th sentence, the one that defines who you are in relation to wealth rather than just what you do. Some might complete it with, I am a money magnet, others with, I am a channel for infinite abundance, still others with, I am a wealthy steward of prosperity. The specific words matter less than their resonance with your deepest truth about wealth. This isn't about wishful thinking. It's about defining your financial identity at the core level. The journey toward abundance reaches its pinnacle when you speak this statement each morning until it no longer feels like mere words, but like breath itself, as natural and automatic as the air flowing in and out of your lungs. For as you speak your financial identity, so shall your bank account inevitably become. If you've discovered your own powerful wealth identity statement, type I am abundance in the comments below. And now you understand the true power of those morning declarations Florence Scovel Shinn discovered. The statements that can literally transform your financial destiny when spoken with conviction each day. This isn't about magical thinking. It's about aligning yourself with the universal laws that govern prosperity. I've shared these principles because I've seen them work not just in my life, but in the lives of countless others who've applied them consistently. If you've found value in these financial revelations today, consider joining our community by subscribing to the channel. Every week, I share these kinds of transformative insights that most financial experts never discuss. If this message resonated with you on a deeper level, if you felt that spark of recognition that says, this is exactly what I needed to hear, leave a comment saying, Financial Awakening, so I know you made it to the end of this journey with me. And if you found this valuable, a simple like lets me know these are the kinds of wealth consciousness topics you want to explore further. It's how we stay connected in this conversation about prosperity. Speaking of which, there's a video right here that builds perfectly on what we've discussed today. It reveals the exact morning ritual that turns these declarations into tangible financial results. Click and continue this prosperity journey with me over there. Your financial transformation is just beginning.